Hi, my name is Beer, and I just found out that there are more than 400 upcoming action games, and from all that pile, after careful research, I selected 10 games that will definitely not waste your time. Let's start with Witchfire. Remember the adventure game called The Vanishing of Ethan Carter? The same studio decided to make something more exciting. This is a dark fantasy first-person shooter with great graphics and fast-paced combat, where you have to rely on various weapons and magic. Yes, this is a fantasy world, but we have guns in there, and that is very cool. Besides it being set in a dark fantasy world, developers also tend to mention that this is not a horror game, although there might be elements of it that may frighten a softer player, so don't play this game if you are... I don't know how to say, if you are...
Pussy! Pussy, pussy, pussy!
Yes, thank you! Far Cry 6. The game will take you on a journey to Yara, a fictional tropical country inspired by Cuba, where ruthless dictator Anton Castillo is in charge. His life's goal is to rebuild the country and bring it back to its glory 50 years ago, when the dictator was his father, no matter what sacrifices he has to make to the people, and you will play as a warrior of the local resistance movement, trying to remove Castillo from power through both guerrilla warfare and bloody protests in the streets. So as you fight this evil man, be sure that you will never get yourself into a situation where you have to
explain yourself.
Yeah, because when you see Giancarlo Esposito as a bad guy, and when he says something like,
"You have something I want,"
you know that he will do anything to achieve his goal. So fighting a boss like this is a serious business that will not let you make any mistakes. Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon returns with more mechanical dinosaurs. Game continues the story of Aloy, a young and boring huntress sent on a quest to a mysterious frontier to find the source of mysterious plague that kills all it infects. Yeah, all of this is very mysterious, especially the reasoning, because yeah, why not? We can send some more experienced warriors to do that, but because the situation is so dangerous and so difficult, we will better trust our lives to 19-year-old girl. Great decision. So, on her journey across the uncharted lands of the Forbidden West, she encounters hostile regions filled with natural threats and ravaged by massive storms, dangerous enemies, and deadly machines, both new and old. As Aloy attempts to explore the wider and deeper parts of the Forbidden West, she discovers a vast array of diverse environmental ecosystems, including lush valleys, dry deserts, snowy mountains, tropical beaches, and ruined cities, both above and below the water. Resident Evil Village. Set a few years after the horrifying events in the Resident Evil 7, the all-new storyline begins when a man and his wife start living peacefully in a new location, free from the past nightmares and horrors. Just as they are building their new life together, then, you know, yep, that. Here you will play from the first person, so all creepy encounters will feel more personal, and the village itself is living and breathing organism, way more than just a mysterious backdrop for the horrifying events that unfold in the game. The village is a character in its own right, with mysteries for you to uncover and terrors to escape from. Hitman 3. If you weren't living under the rock in the bottom of the ocean, you probably have heard about Hitman at least a few times. Here you once again assume control of infamous assassin Agent 47. Cool thing is, if you own Hitman from 2016 or Hitman 2 from 2018, you will be able to import maps, levels, and their progress into Hitman 3. The game will feature PlayStation VR compatibility on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions. The VR will also apply to levels imported from the previous two games. And unlike Hitman 2, there will be no multiplayer mode. Hitman 3 is as single player as it can get, so sharpen your trusty Stranglewire and kill some people so you could take their clothes and blend into the crowd. Although I'm pretty sure that killing for Agent 47 is just a secondary thing. He just has a fetish for fancy clothes but has no money to buy them. Atomic Heart. Welcome to the alternative Soviet Union and creepy science facility where everything went... Yep, and you are the one who has to scoop everything. In other words, you are a special agent who was sent to a highly secret object by the Soviet government after it went radio silent. So, as you can guess, the weak batteries of local radio is not the issue. The monsters and various robots are. They went amok, haywire and crazy, and only you can stop them, and by doing that unveil the creepy secrets of creepy Soviet experiments. Game is semi-horror, but they also implemented some humor in the conversations of the main protagonist. Sadly, as for now, that humor is bad and not very funny. They obviously need a better writer for those conversations. Ghostwire, Tokyo. Tokyo is overrun by deadly supernatural forces after 99% of the city's population just vanished. Here you will use a powerful arsenal of spectral abilities to fight the paranormal threat and unravel the mystery behind the mass disappearance. It may sound and a bit look like a horror game, but the main emphasis is set not on the horror, but on the fast-paced gameplay, where you have powerful abilities and can fight various ghosts like a true boss. Although the game is creepy, I give it that, but that's all. It won't haunt you at night, it won't live under your bed like that pale-skinned boy with black empty eyes and beautiful smile. Or is he living in your wardrobe and thus silently watching you go to the bathroom every night? I can't remember. Don't look behind you now. Chorus. How is your seasickness doing? If it's driving, then this game will become a vomit comet for you. Avoid it at all costs. And if your stomach is hard as an old pirate's, then you surely will take control of Nara, once the deadliest warrior, now most wanted fugitive, on a quest to destroy the dark cult that created her. Unlock devastating weapons and mind-bending abilities in this space combat shooter, along with Forsaken, her sentient starfighter, explore ancient temples, engage in exhilarating zero-G combat, and venture beyond our waking reality. Along with great visuals, here you will experience a great story, and that is something new in these kinds of games. Scorn. When I was a teenager, I remember watching a movie where people were shrunk and injected into a bloodstream of a human. Can't remember the name, but they were traveling across different organs and had a lot of adventures. So what has this movie to do with Scorn, may you ask? And I would say that if you were shrunk and instead of a human you were injected in Geiger's xenomorph, that is exactly what you would see. Creepy corridors, creepy creatures, and creepy you. Everything about this game is creepy, and that is amazing. My only fear is that this game can be repetitive, as in every trailer or gameplay release so far, you are wandering in those creepy tunnels, but there is nothing else to see. Those tunnels are all there is. Well, let's hope they are planning to surprise us. Bright Memory Infinite. When I first saw the trailer of this game about a year or so ago, the only thing I have is really bright memories, because this game looks very good. The shooter was created by one independent artist, Zheng Xiancheng. Yes, by one man! And I also dare to say that this is a AAA kind of game. Mr. Zheng is a real beast! Bright Memory is a combination of science fiction and fantasy elements in a world where you encounter various beasts, such as dragons, and wander through the intriguing locations, killing numerous monsters. Unlike many other games of this type, the production offers a rich selection of not only firearms, but also melee weapons. You also have a special gauntlet, which allows you telekinetic manipulation of enemies. The whole production is quite similar to Bulletstorm, and it also bears resemblance to Shadow Warrior 2. And now's the time for you to press that like button and get more mana for today. And if you subscribe, you will increase your luck by +25 for a whole week and by +5 for the rest of your life. What a bargain! Also, consider helping me on Patreon or joining here on YouTube. I appreciate any help. You will become my hero, as all these 24 people who decided to trust me so far. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.